All right, I'm back for part 2 of this Prog GPT. I've got my coffee. I've got my water. So I've got Studio One open here, and what I'm going to do is get all of the virtual instruments in, programmed close to how I want them, get all the sounds I want. Then I'll set up the guitar tracks, and then I'll record guitar. That's the plan for this video anyway, so we'll see how that goes. So this is what happens when I load it into Studio One. The MIDI that I exported from Guitar Pro, I dropped in here, and what that did is give me the time signatures and the tempo right away, and all of the MIDI information. So I don't have to plug in a bunch of MIDI stuff. Now I will kind of move things around as necessary and do velocities and that kind of stuff. But the main core MIDI information is there, so I don't have to like plug it in via keyboard or, manually put it in. For me, that's definitely kind of a faster way to do this for sure. And also it kind of laid it out exactly how I had it in Guitar Pro. So let's move these things around first. I want to set myself up for success. That's the main goal with any of this. I don't need any of the guitars because I'm going to record those myself, obviously. Drums, bass, and then after that I'll have guitars once I record them. Now I'm going to add different sounds as I go, and I might relabel some of these things a little bit. All right, cool. So we have our tracks laid out. First thing I always do is drums. For this one, I think I'm going to use P4. I've been using P4 a lot lately. Gecko Drums P4 kit. Modern and Massive has kind of been my go-to overall, but I've really liked this one recently. For a default setting, I want something that's pretty powerful. Drum time. What I need to do here is quite a bit of stuff. So right off the bat, Guitar Pro has these two quiet, so I bring them up anywhere between 85 and 90%. Humanize, and then I have to go in and actually put all of these different notes on the right instrument. All right, so we're gonna do some fast forwarding here because what I'm gonna do is go in and make these drums a little more realistic with the velocities and all that kind of stuff. If you want to learn more about that, I did a whole video on that a few months back. You can check that out on my channel, something like programming drums better, I don't know, more programming drums more realistically, something like that. That's a very long and arduous process, so we're going to do super speed right now. So I'm just fine-tuning like individual details, and I'll come back to some of this as I go along, but I think I'm pretty much there now. Bass, this is going to be Umansky bass. I don't feel like recording this one on real bass because I'm just too lazy for that. I'm going to mix it, but for now I'm just going to put it on the grit sound. I might move the position up a couple of frets so that we don't get too many open strings. I'm trying to remember, some of these I think are like tapped things. So this is like the reggae part. Take that down in velocity just a touch. Okay, I actually think that's pretty good overall. Did maybe want to force like hammer-ons and pull-offs here and there. There's no slapping or anything in this one, so I don't need to do any of that. I can force certain strings to sound on Umansky Bass 2, which I might do, but I say sounds okay as it is for now. So maybe those last three notes I'll force the E string. Yeah, it sounds a little better. I'm having the bass do some legato on a few of these runs, like here I think I'll do it too. Probably these little quick runs. Might as well program these to be as realistic as humanly possible. The bass and drums are getting really detailed since I'm going to use programmed instruments for both of those. I just want to make sure they sound as realistic as I can. And I'll kind of go back and tweak those as I go probably. Let's move the positions way up so you get like... I think this is going to work with Umansky bass. I got to lower the high notes. Like a lot of times the bass, the high notes start to like pop out with program bass. I I need the muted notes though, really bad. What are the muted notes? Somewhere around 45, they start to sound a little more natural. Yeah, there we go. We got bass and drums. That's honestly the hardest part of doing this kind of stuff, is just getting the bass and drums down. So let me bring in some of my normal synth sounds. Lead synth. So my kind of go-to lead synth is Massive. This is going to be crazy loud because Massive is super loud. My go-to preset is this one, which I think will work well. All right, so we got the lead synth. Let's get the pad in here. I have a couple of pad sounds that I like. I think for this, I might use one of the factory library synth pads that I like. It sounds fine. Let's try this one instead. It needs to be a little more attack heavy. Once again, same deal. I got to bring the velocities up. Reverb down. That's pretty good. All right, cool. So we got that pad. I'm going to double that with some strings and stuff too, but let's just get through this for now. So let's do it for the low pad. I might actually do the other pad sound. I might actually octave that. Yeah. All right, now acoustic piano. Now I think I actually want two different acoustic piano sounds. So what I'm going to do is duplicate track complete. So one of these is just going to be acoustic piano, normal acoustic piano, and one of these is going to be acoustic piano. I'm going to call it attack, which is going to be much more aggressive. So that's going to have all of the reggae stabs. So what I need to do actually is go in and get rid of some of the MIDI information. So this is the attack one. So you see, as I get into the program, some of the things I composed, in Guitar Pro, I'm changing them up. And then we have piano left hand, which I might actually have some of the riffs get double a little more in the piano left hand. So I get these piano sounds in here. So I have a specific piano I really like. This all comes from Native Instruments Complete. Most of my sounds do. This one's called the Maverick. It's very loud, but oh, it sounds gnarly. Very little dynamic range. Let's give it some air on the top end. Transients attack. I'm just looking for really aggressive. Let's take the bass down. Although I'll probably high pass it, but here we go. It's in context. Now let's do these runs. I think I want that down an octave. This is like the harmony of the melody. Oh, one thing I haven't done yet is the tempo. So there's like that slow down here. Oh, yeah, yeah. So this actually needs to be like a steady slow down. Yeah, so when it does the tempo input from Guitar Pro, it gives you like the tempo markers, but it doesn't do the transitions between them. So I kind of have to go in my tempo map and then figure that out. I don't often do that kind of tempo ritordandos and stuff like that, but I kind of have to work that out before I start recording guitar parts, obviously. So the piano attack, that's good. Let's get the normal piano in here. I'm going to use the same sound, same Maverick sound, but I'm going to do not all the like heavy attack, obviously. So let's find a part that has big chord. More dynamic range in general here. It still needs to pop out on top. Let's do electric piano. Although I need something maybe more aggressive. I like this electric piano for the stabs, but I don't like it for those fast runs. I need something a little more aggressive. So let's duplicate this track. Electric piano stabs and electric piano runs. So for that one, harpsichord. That sounds pretty cool, actually. I use harpsichord way too much, so I probably won't do that. I need something with like a really high-end pop to it. Very good. So I got through most of these sounds. I need acoustic piano. Copy some of the bass ideas over, actually. Actually, what I'm going to do, this seems crazy, but I'm going to copy the entire heavy bass over. I think instead what I'll do is kind of double certain notes. And this is going to be stuff that's kind of like in the background for a lot of this. Just kind of enhances certain elements, like here. Let's check out this fast part. We're basically there. I need to add in a few sort of cherry on the top sort of sounds. One thing I'm going to do, duplicate the pad. I'm going to create string pad just to kind of thicken it up a little bit more. I use my good string pad, I suppose. So I use Spitfire strings for everything if I can. Although I have session strings with native instruments too, which sounds fine. I'm thinking I might bring some auxiliary percussion in the reggae section. It might be overkill, but like just a little bit here and there. Bongos or something. That kind of stuff gets buried so far in the back of a metal mix that maybe it doesn't matter. That just makes that more epic, kind of like combining those two sounds together in combination with the piano. I might double the really fast runs. Harpsichord was the other thing I was thinking of, maybe. Actually, I like that harpsichord through a lot of this. And like a lot of these things, once I finish it up, they're kind of just going to blend with some of the guitar runs and like I'll pan them different directions, but having the sound options is fun. One thing I do want to do, since the electric piano kind of echoes and harmonizes some of these other runs, I'm going to duplicate that and do staccato strings. It's very aggressive sounding. In context. My computer's not liking running all these VSTs. All right, so I think I'm there as far as like all the different sounds. The theremin's the one thing I still have to try to figure out. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some space at the beginning. Quite a bit of space, actually. Because I think I might kind of bring in some theremin like ahead of time to kind of kick off the tune. And that in combination with extending the end of the song will give me like 3 minutes at least. I'd like this to at least be 3 minutes long if possible. So what I'm going to do now is set up the guitar tracks. And actually what I might do, well, I'll do this off camera, is I'll make a mix down of this so that I'm not running all the virtual instruments. That way I can record guitar and not completely destroy the processing on my computer. All right, I'm all ready to record. I've got to change my guitar strings first, and I'm not going to be able to record and also stream OBS capturing the screen at the same time. It's just going to be too much processing for my computer. I want to make sure there's no latency as I'm recording. So you're going to get a montage of me recording, probably making a million mistakes, starting now. Recording time. Rhythm guitars first. Here we go. Terrible. Terrible. Ooh, nothing repeats in this, which is really hard. One of those riffs, if you get stopped anywhere, you can't do the rest. Getting better. Dang it! Ah. Yeah. Next part. That part's a lot easier. One more. This part sucks. Blah. Just punching this in because I don't have to learn it all in one go. Ah, missed that high tap. God. That was good. It's always the G string. Always the G string. This part's not too bad. So like the previous riff was so ridiculous that this riff is now easy, even though it is weird. I mean, there's a lot of weird chords happening here. Nice. Let's finish up this rhythm guitar. Should be easy. Easier anyway. Unless you screw up the chords right away. That last retard is a little bit slower. Keep doing that last chord early. There we go. Maybe go to the right chord. Garbage! Garbage! Let's record some clean guitar. Oof, surprisingly tricky. Those rhythms, it's not a normal reggae kind of rhythm. There's kind of offsetting because of the time signatures. So I'm actually sight reading the music for this. We'll call that good for now. Let's go to the next part with the clean guitar. The rhythm's still weird though. Ah! I'm going to hold those last ones out a little longer. Okay, so there's just a couple sections left. Here we go. I'm going to sight read again. Oh, weird voicing. One more section, and that's the very end. Really hard to do that kind of thing where you play the same repeating pattern over and over again. It's not difficult from a playing perspective, obviously, but I was definitely early on some of those hits and stuff. It's hard to lock into grooves sometimes. All right, the second clean guitar. Let's give this a go. That was terrible. I need a different tone. I've settled on a lead tone, so let's record this melody. Trying to do this by memory so I can focus on vibrato and stuff. I need to practice that part. I want to pay attention to those little details just to make this melody a little bit more dynamic and have some sort of feel to it. Probably the best one yet. Actually a very satisfying melody to play. I think given the challenge, that's all I could hope for, I suppose. stop screwing up that first run. Harmony time. This is kind of a weird one. I had to kind of get the fingerings in tab here, so it's going to take me a few playthroughs to play it properly. Yeah, that's super fun. If I should add a third harmony. I thought it's double notes, which is weird. Almost there. Playing the same note on different strings for the different timbre. Engage your brain. Think ahead, think ahead, think ahead. Alright, so I've worked out a third harmony for this very last part. It's going to make it sound super epic. Alright, here we go. Nice. That sounds epic. It kind of just takes it over the top. I think that was the one overall. Working out this first little solo, realized I should probably have the camera on. I've worked out 4 measures of it so far. Just gonna try to record it. Better? There it is. I gotta try to lay back on this more. Better feel on that one. Haha! That's sweet. I'm gonna try to ring these together. I'm doing a lot of arpeggiation in this solo because the chords are so weird and the rhythms are weird. Just trying to lock into the chords. So what I'm going to do is try to get this second half down, and then I'll go back if I need to redo any of it. That was better. Gonna re-record some of this first half, I think. I'm just gonna noodle around on this ending part. Maybe we'll do some stuff like that. I think this is gonna improvise and then slowly turn into something that's more composed, so. Yeah, maybe something like that that fades out with the. What I want to do now is listen to this song as it is, completely unmixed. I did level out some of the volumes, but you're going to hear this raw track right now, so let's check it out. So that does it for part 2 of this AI-inspired prog piece, or Prog GPT. In this one, I went about setting up the DAW and then recording all of the guitars. Now I've got to go back and finish editing the guitars and getting this ready to mix and master. But in part 3 of this series, I'm going to mix and master this song so you can see some of my process with that. And then I'll put it up on streaming services and on my Bandcamp. I'll also make a playthrough video and post that here on YouTube. But if you're enjoying this series and you want to see more from this channel, please subscribe and hit the bell notification. That really helps out. And I'll see all of you next week for the final part of this series. Until then, stay proggy.